been unlocked. I know that there is no way out. I know that there is no way out. I know that there is no way out. Hell no, if there's no way out. Oh yeah. I thought of leaving life this way, feeling dressed in crimson stains. But first there's those I need to see, to help me put my mind at ease. I know that there is no way out. I know that there is no way out. I know that there is no way out. Hell no, that there's no way out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi, I'm John Iwasz, and I'm co-director, writer, producer of Zombie Casserole.
And I'm Sanj Surati, and I am also co-director, writer, and producer and director of Zombie Casserole. The film Zombie Casserole is it's a horror comedy, and the emphasis is more on comedy. And really, the film, when we did it, it was basically John's brainchild, so I blame him. The idea is, he came up with the idea of, what if we took Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and did that with zombies?
Yep. And our film focuses on the zombies trying to fit back into society. The zombie apocalypse came and went, and it was something of a non-event. We didn't want to do the usual film that has zombies as mindless creatures focused on nothing but consumption. We wanted our zombies to have some personality. So they are reanimated, but they're trying to reintegrate into society, and they're facing some problems.
Yeah, they're really more of a danger to themselves than others. they're actually rather pathetic zombies.
We'd like to think of zombies as the Keystone Cops of the undead world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The story basically concerns, we have one of the characters, Wally, who is an anti-zombie bigot, and he's having a dinner at home for his family, and his sister Dawn is coming to dinner, and her husband has actually died and reanimated, and she just hasn't bothered to tell the family. And so when the couple shows up at dinner, then, well, hilarity ensues.
It creates an uncomfortable situation for the host and for the guests, and you have that intentionally uncomfortable conversation at the dinner table.
Yes, rife with various gags that we threw in the middle of it. Some of the other things I think we also touch on in the film. We get into, I have a what do you call it? It's a cross-cultural marriage. I do not call it an interracial marriage because I find that term incredibly offensive. Because at that point, are we saying that, either me or my wife, are we saying one of us isn't human or something like that? So, so coming from that, when we put the script together, what we're showing is one person of one sort living and another person of another sort, a zombie, and they're still trying to carry on a normal relationship. And how does that work? And we also crossed a few things by creating a family that is not all white. The family is actually it was composed of two brothers and a sister, and the sister happens to be Vietnamese. And so one of the questions that you get is, how does that family work? Well, I mean, somebody could have been adopted. You know, there could be a stepfather, stepmother in there. So a spouse could have died. You could have had, you know, who's to say that both parents were white? You know, the two parents could have been Vietnamese, you know, and they happened to adopt these two white boys. Who knows? I mean, this is a reflection of what, you know, modern society now is, you know, is really starting to go to. You don't see families that are just, you know, two kids, mom and dad are white. You know, you don't see that anymore. You know, you're not seeing that so much. And now what's happening is the different cultures are all mixing. And, you know, like one of the things I always say is, like, I'm thinking about, you give us about 200, 300 years, we're going to end up with a skin color that is actually American, and it's not going to be white, and it's not going to be brown, and it's not going to be black. It's going to be some weird thing in the middle of it. And hey, that's cool, you know. So.
And the soundtrack is also all original music. We had our opening song, Humans, that was done by Spencer Lerner out in Seattle, play on the 2013 Dr. Demento Halloween playlist. So we got that feather on our cap thanks to Spencer.
Yeah, he actually goes by Shmuley, aka Spencer Lerner. And this was an interesting thing for both of us, because this is the first short film. Well, we've done short films, but this is the first one that we actually did that wasn't starring ourselves. We really focused more on, we wanted to actually get actors that could act. You know, so writing the script, pulling in the actors, you know, figuring out how to put all the pieces together. You know, this was a fairly good sized undertaking. I mean, the film's only 28 minutes long. But you know, like I said, one of the things we ended up with when we did it was, I think when we showed the whole thing to Spencer, you know, typically he'd done music for us before, and we just used his music. But he told us on this, he wanted to score this. So this film, you know, it's not just, you know, we see this in a lot of short films that, you know, people just, you know, they're grabbing, like, you know, public domain music and just kind of throwing that in there, and maybe they get a couple of cool songs at the beginning or the end. The music in this film becomes its own character, because it's part of the story.
And in fact, he gave each of the principal roles their own musical theme that you hear throughout Zombie Casserole. So when it focuses on, for example, our lead zombie in the family, we named Chuck, and he gets his own little musical theme. So when you have a scene that focuses principally on him, you'll hear his music occur and recur. Yep.
Yeah, I think one of the other things is like, you know, which should give you a sense of how far out of our comfort zones we were going, was when we were doing the casting calls. One of the things that happened was, you know, we put everything out, and actors started coming to us and saying, "Hey, could you please send us the sides?" And well, John and I just kind of looked at each other and said, "Yes, of course, we'll get you the sides." Then we both turned around to each other and we were going, "What the hell are sides?" We have no idea.
To the Google.
Yeah, so we were into Google, and then, you know, we lucked out because we had, I think we used Final Draft. We used Final Draft.
Was able to produce
and that decides that's just the actor's lines. So that was new to us, because neither of us actually has a background in filmmaking. A lot of what we do is self-taught. You know, we literally do everything on our films, other than act and the music and the music. I mean, we both record the audio. You know, we're recording the audio. John's running the camera. We're both co-directing at the same time. We figure out the locations. We figure out how to keep people fed. Whole 9 yards. That's us.
We figured out where our strengths lie, and Sanj mostly focuses on sound, and I'm usually behind the camera. So we each do direct, but it's from the point of view of what's on the screen versus what's being recorded on sound. So when we co-direct, it's usually, when I give direction, it's with emphasis on what it looks like and how the actors move and how the action transpires. So I'll block out the scene with the actors, and and make sure it looks how we intended to look on the storyboards, and we've graduated to using storyboards now. And Sanj will be focused on picking up the sound and how the line may be delivered from an
Auditory.
the impact on the on audio.
Yeah.
I mean, not just from the auditory perspective, but also the the emotion of the delivery and how that comes across on the headphones.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's happening too is I think John, the two of us kind of work. John tends to be more, I would say, our creative side. So I kind of let him do that stuff, and then I kind of like walk around in the back and just go, let's do this, let's do it. And he doesn't even know I'm doing some of this stuff I'm doing. This is one of those things. But we know how to work with a set. We pick up on things, we talk to the actors. I think the direction we gave the character of Dawn, who is the one that's married to the now zombie husband, was, you support you are behind your man all the way. You're just in complete denial that your husband is dead, and he's walking around and eating raw flesh. I mean, it's just that's what you are.
And something else that we did in order to help become better directors is take an acting course. So while we don't have intention of appearing in front of the camera for
Ever again.
Well, except for right now during
Well,
an interview.
yeah, that's true. Okay, we screwed that up, didn't we?
Well, that's your fault.
You said you wanted to do this interview.
So we took a course in acting with the intention of understanding how to give proper direction and how actors receive direction. So we could conceive of what's going through the actor's mind and direct.
In a world where zombies just want a little respect. A family gets together for dinner.
Dude, you're dead.
Do you guys still, do it?
Yeah, Dawn, isn't that necrophilia?
Why is that thing still in my house? The meringue! Hey, meringue!
Stop calling them rotters. They're undead Americans.
My name is Jim Poserina, and I was one of the actors portraying one of the zombies in Zombie Casserole. This was pretty much the first, well, it wasn't pretty much, it was the first film I'd ever done. I got involved with the project because I'd seen John and Sanj had done Blobageddon, and we have another mutual friend, Bob Sadur, who appeared both in Blobageddon and had two different roles in Zombie Casserole. He played...
Yes, he played our reporter and a zombie, and something we've learned is if we put our actors in masks, we can reuse them time and time again.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you want to have things that cover up your actors. That way you can always work around stuff.
So I had seen Blobageddon, and I'd seen the three of them working together, and I figured, well, John had put out a casting call saying that he and Sanj were planning on putting out a movie about Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with zombies, and I figured I want to get in on this. So I wrote to John and said, sure, I'll be a zombie, and next thing you know, I was sitting in a makeup chair. I was involved with 2 days of filming. The first day was the scenes taking place in Freedom Park, and then followed later with the zombies all meeting in the underground bunker. So
just as a quick note, Freedom Park was my backyard, and the underground bunker was the torture room in my basement.
And Freedom Park was the site of, in Zombie Casserole, a protest scene, and the underground bunker was the location for the
That was
zombie
our meeting room,
activist
yes.
meeting location.
Yeah, we did have to stop filming briefly when we were filming in the basement whenever somebody upstairs flushed the toilet. You just hear the rush of water going through the plumbing. So I arrived on set that day, and it was taking a little bit of time to get everybody made up because we had two excellent makeup artists, Derek and Alicia. I was the last zombie to be made up, and they were just sort of making things up as they went along. You know, they had their little bag of tricks, you know, sitting in a chair, and I'm standing on the side watching this, and I'm like, okay, I wonder what they're going to do to me. So I sit in the chair, and I must have sat in that chair for at least half an hour. And Alicia just went crazy on me. All I would see her was dabbing, you know, her little applicator in whatever latex or whatever, sticking it on me, and then just going. And I would see people walking by me, going from the kitchen to outside, and they would just stop and give this shocked look as they gazed upon me. And I had no idea what I looked like at this point. It was pretty horrifying when it was all done. The funny thing was that I was required for 2 days of shooting, so the next day,
Do it again.
those same pieces had to be applied in the same place.
You will suffer for
Yes.
art. That's basically what it boils down to.
But it was, I don't have a film background at all, but it was, from my perspective, it was just a fascinating experience to see how this all sort of worked, especially with you know, a couple of friends of mine who, to a large extent, were figuring it out for themselves and doing their damnedest to make sure it happened. And if they couldn't figure out a way to make it happen, they would figure it out.
Fall on their swords.
It would happen one way or another.
Yeah, I think the thing I remember about the makeup was we actually did that in John's backyard, and it was November, and we got an unseasonably, it was like mid-60s, I think.
was.
So it was
It was
really
that day.
cool. It was sunny out, so everybody was hanging out.
And we were stopping traffic. It was on
Yes.
the front lawn of my yard, and I had a horde of about maybe a dozen zombies tearing somebody apart. They're fake.
You don't see that in suburbia that often.
We're being ripped open, and so I'm on a relatively busy road for suburbia, and so we were stopping traffic, and we explained that we were filming the next season of The Walking Dead, and asked people to move along, please.
What are you guys doing up there?
Yeah, it was so we really should have assigned somebody to traffic duty.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that was really interesting was this, as I said before, this was a completely new experience for John and I, suddenly, running the set and, having to be in charge of all this. And I remember that last day, because that's when we had the zombie horde. That's when we're tearing a body. It's a zombie movie.
Right, it's not a zombie.
thing,
It's not a zombie film until
Yes.
you tear somebody apart.
Yeah, that was one thing we've insisted on whenever we've made anything having, zombie films, that you must tear someone apart. But we were on the set, and at one point I was looking at John, and I'm like, dude, there's like 25 people on this thing.
Yeah.
And we're actually in charge of this. How the hell did we end up here?
It was, fortunately, we both had worked in positions where we had to manage projects, and so we put on our, work hats, and that, having had work experience leading projects, also helped in coordinating the kind of back office operations of how a movie is made. So you can find us at smallbasketstudios.com. We have a portfolio with a set of sample clips of everything we've done available there, as well as background about Zombie Casserole and our next film, Spammer.
Yeah, Spammer, Zombie Casserole, we originally started as For Zombies Productions and made a number of films that were focused around zombies. And then we started to realize that, we kind of pigeonholed ourselves with that name.
Yeah, zombies,
So,
we
yeah.
realize, of course, zombies are done to death, if you will.
Yeah.
And we wanted to be able to broaden out.
Yeah, so we wanted to start
genre.
doing films that had nothing to do with zombies. And Zombie Casserole pretty much cured us of the zombie bug. We can now say with a straight face we have made a zombie film. But our new film, Spammer, we actually just finished it. We've just started submitting it to film festivals and are creating a press kit and all that stuff. We're going after H.P. Lovecraft this time, and again, it is a horror comedy with emphasis on comedy.
And this time we've used a combination of both practical and special effects. We had Tom Smith, who of Sick and Twisted Productions, create the prosthetics for our evil wizard. I don't want to give away any spoilers about exactly what the prosthetics are. You'll have to see the film. And we've also expanded our digital effects capabilities.
Yeah, well, not so much our, but John's. John spent a lot of time on CGI on this film.
My hair didn't used to be quite so great.
Yeah, it's only an 8-minute film. The basic premise of the story is it's inspired by the tales, by the occult tales of H.P. Lovecraft. Spammer is the cautionary tale of an internet scam artist whose annoying messages manage to hook an unexpected victim. Be careful what you fish for. That's our tagline on the film. And we had a lot of fun with this one. As I said, I mean, our 2 lead characters, we got 2 local comedians, one up from New York City, another one from the Philly area, Mark Kay and
Mahesh
Katagi. And we had a lot of fun on set with this one. If you want to have a fun film set, get stand-up comics.
And we gave them some room to ad-lib as well, and they delivered.
They did. They got some really smoking lines in the film. So, there you go.
We'll do a feature. We're not sure quite when. We do want to do 1 or 2 more shorts before we tackle a feature. But that is something that we intend to do, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're doing is, as I said, we don't have a background in film. We're literally making this up as we go along. And like one of the things that we did with Spammer is we learned, I mean, Zombie Casserole, it stands on its own and it's a good film. But I think we learned from doing that we wanted to learn how to tell stories more visually rather than dialogue driven. So Spammer, the emphasis on Spammer was to actually make the film visual. So you can watch this and get the story just by watching the visuals. And it still has dialogue. The dialogue is there, but the visuals are what we really wanted to use to tell the story and make it visually interesting.
I think you can tell. I think you can still get the story if you shut off the dialogue and just watch the film. I think you'll still get the impact of the film.
All right. It's cool. Thank you.
All right, cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Serendipity Bloom, and I am here at the Cafe Z Grindhouse Nights in Union, New Jersey, and promoting my book, Flesh Cravers. I'm very excited to be here with the crew, and Flesh Cravers is a zombie novel for young adults. We follow Sophia, who's the main character. She is a flesh craver, but she really wants to be a human and live a normal life. She works for an underground corporation called Flesh, and she has a job as a recruiter. And what they do as recruiters is they recruit beings from other realms, and even in the Earth realm, for humans with special powers to join them to become flesh cravers. And we follow her through her case files and the beings that she meets, and all the adventures that she has going on for her. So pick up a copy of the book. You can find me on Facebook, Serendipity Bloom. I don't currently have a website, but I look to have one up soon. And let me know what you think. I welcome feedback. And my book is also on Amazon.com, just on paperback. Look for the Kindle version shortly as well. I really thought zombies, everybody's doing something with zombies, Walking Dead, and I had this idea to write a young adult novel book so that my niece can read it. And I thought, well, why not a teenager who doesn't really want to be a zombie? She's personified. She has feelings, she has emotions, she can think, and let her travel around and experience other different worlds, and just kind of took it from there and expanded the idea. It is my first book. It is the first in a series of however many I can get out there. Nothing like the actual physical book, to hold it in your hands, to feel it, to smell it. I'm a very, very big believer in paperback and hardcover books. Throwing it out there in the Kindle world is something that I look forward to in a couple of months. But I really just wanted to hold the book in my hands, and I wanted people to hold the book in their hands as well. Two, hopefully to release it by Halloween of this year. I'm looking at Halloween release dates to be consistent. And I'm also working on some other projects that are not young adult, because young adult is really not my area. I'm looking into the more gore and suspense and young adult novels. I went into it just to have something that my niece could read. But I am very happy and proud of it, and I do want to continue the series for this. Huge fan of Stephen King. As a child, I started reading his books at probably about age 8, and he absolutely terrified me, but I continued reading, and it just grew from there. Any book that I could get my hands on. My mother was a big horror buff as well, so any book that she had, I read, and it just grew from there. Pick up a copy of Flesh Cravers. Positive, negative feedback. I welcome all kinds of feedback. Let me know what you think, and anything that I can improve on, I welcome that.
Are you as mad as I am? You don't calm yourself down. It's back to the dark room again.
They say there are special hidden catacombs down here we've yet been able to discover.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here! But why would you say that I am mad?
So now what do we do?
Do you hear that?
Do it while you still have time to get away. It's still alive.
Mad people know nothing. Do you fancy me mad?
Hi, I'm Horror Show Jack. I'm the customized Fang maker, and we're here at Grindhouse Days. Todd, who runs it, is a good friend of mine. He asked me to, if I wanted to vend, and I'll vend anywhere. So we came down here
We make all types of different customized fangs, small sets like canines and eye teeth, true bloods, and then other types that go all the way up to, our basic sets start at $60, and we have sets that go all the way up to $750, which is what's in my mouth right now, because it's 20 different individual fangs. We also have a lot of horror show bears and twisted creations. I get stuffed animals and pretty much glorify them. We do other shows like Monster Mania, Horror Hound in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Indianapolis. We got invited to do last year Exotica, which is a 3-day porn convention, which we did really well at, surprisingly. We are I'm also known as the Fang Maker to the Stars, because at the conventions, all the other a lot of the guests come over and get fangs from us.
It is a legend that when the potential of man's evil surpasses the potential of man's redemption, the elephant will be released.
And it's a great sales pitch, because people are like, there are other people that do what I do, and I don't hide it or anything. We're all out here doing our craft, trying to make money. So and people are like, well, what makes you better than the other guy? And I said, aside from my prices and my quality, I just point to the banner of the portfolios that we have all the pictures, like, Anthony Michael Hall, Kane Hodder, Vern Troyer, Tia Carrera, Michael Roker and several people from The Walking Dead. I'm like, well, they come to me. So if they trust me, there you go. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, we're just going to as many shows as possible. March, I'm gonna blow my brains out, because we have Cherry Hill Monster Mania, the Friday the 13th, Saturday the 14th, and Sunday the 15th. Then the weekend after that, we're going all the way out to Cincinnati, Ohio, which is really gonna be awesome. They have oh my God, Norman Reedus, and the guy who played Michael in Lost Boys. Again, I'm looking forward to that show. I really want to meet the actor who played Horace Pinker in Shocker. And then we're going all the way down to Charlotte, North Carolina for Mad Monster Party. And it's like, yeah, 3 big conventions in a row, yay. We also have Steampunk World's Fair coming up in May, National Horners Convention. I haven't booked that yet, but we will. And Scares of Care Weekend in July. And I don't have any pre-thought out ideas until now, because now I'm making more with thermoplastic, making mouths, tongues, and jagged teeth, and turning things into whatever I can. I usually just will grab one of the stuffed animals and just go, like whatever I can slap on and cut off, put on. I do have inspirations from, like, Leatherface, Freddy Krueger bears, Jason Voorhees bears. We even made an Alice Cooper bear once, which sold right away. We did the Walker Stalker, the first Walker Stalker convention, and I made a Merle bear and a Darrell bear, and obviously, yeah, they sold like that. The fangs, just the basics, and every other year now, I mean, I have 20 in my mouth now. You go back 2 years ago, I only had 16. So every year I add another top and bottom set on, and sooner or later, my whole mouth probably will be eventually filled with them. It's Wicked lenses, because now we're doing contacts as well, along with we always have like little hand-painted skull masks and other ceramic creations and magnets and stuff. We have whenever I have free time, whatever I can build, create, or make, or paint, that's just what I come up with. HarsherJackFangSmith.com.
It is a legend that when the potential of man's evil surpasses the potential
if you don't like clowns,
Clowns are supposed to make people happy.
Well, there's nothing funny about this clown.
Is that what all these pictures are all about?
Mom and Dad are dead because of that clown.
and you don't like being tickled,
David, are you home?
then you're not going to like Gitchy.
Get you the clown, get you the clown. No one can frown round, get you the clown. Get you the clown, he don't say much, but he likes to tickle. He loves to touch, he'll make you giggle till you drop. You'll find your most ticklish spot. And if he catches you, you'll laugh like a fool. He'll make you beg him, stop. Get you the clown, get you the clown. No one can frown round, get you the clown. Get you the clown, he don't say much, but he likes to tickle. He loves to touch, he'll make you giggle till you drop. He'll find your most ticklish spot. And if he catches you, you'll laugh like a fool. He'll make you beg him, stop.
Gitchy. He'll make you laugh till you die.
Hi, I'm Mario from MarioLikesMovies.com, and I am the creator of The Spies Files, and we are here at Cafe Z in Union, New Jersey at Grindhouse Nights, hosted by the horror nerd Todd Staruch, and co-hosted by Carolyn and Tom Ryan. And we're having a great old time watching these great old independent horror movies. Hello, Dead End Horror. My name is Mario Melillo. I am the CEO of Surreal Design Inceptions and Seeing Red Films, and I run the film critic / podcast / movie entertainment website, MarioLikesMovies.com, and I am a aspiring filmmaker. I've been hosting podcasts and doing film reviews and covering events for MarioLikesMovies.com for about 3 years or so. And we're going on our 4th year now, as of January. And I've been doing that for a long time. And my current project, The Spies Files, which is premiering in late March, early April, that has been in the works for quite a while, but now we have it off the ground and it is coming out to TV land, so that's kind of exciting. My first feature film, Pandemonia, had to get pushed back, so we're looking at a late 2016 start date for that, but you know, good things take time, so yeah, waiting on that. And then I got something in the works in January of 2016 as well. My first feature, named Majesty, will be lensing around then and should be out by next year as well. Oh, well, you can find me at, obviously, MarioLikesMovies.com. Again, weekly podcasts and film reviews and so on and so forth. I don't have a official website for my film projects yet, or my TV show. But you can find them at their respective Facebook pages.
We were fresh out of grad school doing independent research, flush with grants for something radical.
Something radical?
Something radical in the field of pain management. We created an organism. An organism that would help the host live inside it, to not only ease the pain, but to eliminate it entirely. We knew it could work. You see, there are tests and requirements, and before you can even think...
You tested it on her?
She volunteered. Are you ready?
It's not enough.
enough. It's not enough.
How's everybody doing? My name is Randy Memoli. I'm an actor and a director. Tonight here at the Grindhouse Cafe, February Frightmares, I had 2 short films playing. 2 that I didn't direct, but 2 I starred in. The first one was Covenant. It was a short zombie film where I play a lone survivor going to war against a bunch of zombies. And the second was a short film called Gitchy. Gitchy the Clown. He likes to tickle and he loves to touch. So, it was 2 good screenings this afternoon, and a lot of people enjoyed the film. Gitchy was probably not my favorite role, but like my most popular role, because it was filmed in 2009, and now it's 2015, and we're still getting screenings. It was a short 33-minute film, and it just has like such a following from people all over the world, and I actually loved it because I love weird stuff, especially clowns. Like, I'm a big fan. Like, when I found out I had to audition for this movie, like, I got in the zone in a way. Like, the night before I was watching Stephen King's It, I was listening to Insane Clown Posse. I was just getting in this demonic like world of like killer clowns. And I didn't really know anything about the script. Like, I showed up, I did my lines, and you know, a few days later, Thomas Norman called me up and he gave me the part. And it wasn't like a normal email or a normal phone call in the afternoon. He kind of like called me like close to midnight, and I was driving in my car, and then he basically said, Randy, we'd like to give you the role as Victor. And that was the lead actress's boyfriend. And I was so proud and honored that I got the part, especially when you audition for something and you beat out so many other people. But what freaked me out was this. He finally told me what the plot was. I didn't know anything about the plot, what this clown does. He kept it very like classified at the audition, and he basically said, Randy, this clown is a clown that tickles you to death. And I was like, wow, that's pretty creepy.
Gitchy the clown, Gitchy the clown, he don't say much, but he likes to tickle, he loves to touch, he'll make you giggle till you drop, you'll find your most ticklish spot, and if he catches you, you'll laugh like a fool, he'll make you
Creepy. And I did my scene, and I had this 300-pound clown on top of me, tickling me all over the place. And I'm very ticklish, so it was very real. But it was just, this clown was just tickling me to death. And I had so much fun with it. Like, it was so great. Like, Thomas Norman, the director, he still says, like, that was his best scene out of the whole film. And I had so much fun with it. Like, I still talk about it today. And like I said, Gitchy has been so like good to me. It keeps me busy. Like, you know, I go to so many screenings. We've had it was screened at the Trauma Dance in New Mexico. It was at the Phoenix Comic Con. It played overseas in Norway. I was able to drive all the way out to Buffalo for a screening at the Buffalo Screams Festival, and yeah, it just keeps me very busy. Just by like the amount of exposure it gets. Like 6 years later, and it's still getting a lot of attention, and more people are seeing it, and they're still it's the same reaction from the audience every time they see it. Everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time, and at the end of the day, everybody's like, "What the hell did I just watch?" And it's so much fun. I can't believe like Gitchy, the clown that tickles you to death, is like my most famous role, and what everybody might, if I don't get anything big anytime soon, like that's what I'll always be remembered for. If I died, or if I just gave up acting today, like that's what I'll be remembered for. But you know what? Whatever. It's you know, it's something, you know. Film I was in, it was called Covenant. It was basically a short film about you know, a short zombie film, like any other zombie film. There really wasn't that many actors in it. It was just, I was basically the only human, and the rest were all zombies. And it was just me sitting in the middle of the woods and, you know, trying to survive, fighting a bunch of zombies. And it was actually very exciting for me because since I was a kid, like, I've been watching zombie films ever since, like, Night of the Living Dead came out. Actually, that came out in 1968. Like, ever since I was a kid, that was the first zombie movie I've seen. And then I became a fan of the Return of the Living Dead. And I've just been a fan of zombies. Like, I still use the word zombies. Like there's a new, like, generation of people that became zombie fans because they saw The Walking Dead, which is, you know, fine. But I was very proud of Covenant because ever since The Walking Dead came on, I've been watching it every day, like every week, every episode. And that was one of my main goals as an actor, where I want to be in this show because it's like one of the most popular shows on TV. And it has to do with the genre that I love. I love the horror genre, and I love zombie movies. And to be in The Walking Dead would have been such a privilege. And it takes a lot of work. And so what Covenant did for me, it kind of gives me like an audition tape in a way, because it's just 15 minutes of me trying to survive in the middle of the woods, and then I'm out shooting zombies. I didn't shave for the film, and I tried to get into character as much. Like, I didn't shower for 2 days, and yeah, I want to be in The Walking Dead, you know? Like, I see all these, like, people in The Walking Dead, I was like, there's got to be a moment where I got to be in this show. And I actually had that moment. A few years ago, I booked a commercial, and I had to play a zombie, which was even cooler because here I am in Covenant playing the Rick Grimes, the guy with the gun, shooting all the zombies, and then I was able to have an opportunity to be in a commercial where I was a zombie. And when I got to the studio, like, that was another project that was very, like, classified, and they weren't saying anything. And when I got there, you know, I was talking to the producers, I was talking to the director, they sat me down, they gave me a cup of coffee, and then they explained to me what the commercial was about. And this is how exciting it is. He sat me down and he's like, this commercial is for The Walking Dead. And I was like, get out of here. And they were trying to make it look like I had no idea what they were talking about, but I was like, dude, I love that show. And then I went beyond The Walking Dead, and I started telling them, like, all my knowledge about like zombie movies. Like, oh, I've been watching it since I was a kid, Night of the Living Dead, all the sequels, this is exciting. Basically, like a few years ago, there was a problem with The Walking Dead and the Dish Network. Apparently, the Dish Network was taking The Walking Dead off the air. So AMC paid this production company to make a commercial. It was like a campaign. And the commercial was basically a bunch of zombies walking the earth, like acting like humans. Like, there were zombies, like, you know, that were cops. There were zombies that was doing a crossing guard. So the whole point of the commercial was we got to keep zombies on the TV. Whole campaign to like have the Dish Network keep The Walking Dead on, and AMC produced it. It was actually on AMC. I never got to see it on TV because, you know, they never tell you when the commercial's on. And it was on YouTube. We have 30 million views right now, the commercial. When it came out, it was the #2 viral video in the world. That was my most exciting set I was on. That was actually the best job I've ever done because it was like the most popular one. I got paid good money to do it. Sue Lee, who was one of the contestants in Face Off season 2, she did my makeup. I noticed her when she did my makeup, and I was out of all the zombies, I was the one who recognized her. And she got like all like, you know, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm like, yeah, I love this show. You were actually one of my favorite characters." And she did my makeup. Then they brought me out on the streets of New York, and here I am walking Times Square, and like I had that moment where I felt like a star because I had all these people surrounding me taking photos of me in this zombie makeup, and like they had me like eating ice cream. Like that was my scene. Like I was eating ice cream. Then I went down to Times Square like as a zombie, and I'm like walking past everybody, and they used that was my scene in the commercial. Like I walked past the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, I had so much fun doing that. Till this day, I say to myself, like, oh my God, thank God nobody shot me in the head. Because she did such a fantastic job on my makeup. So if you ever want to check out the commercial, you could just type in the zombie experiment, New York City. And you'll see that AMC produced it, and you know, the campaign was a success. The Walking Dead is back on the Dish Network, and it was so much fun. And you know, I'm still waiting for that phone call from the casting directors from The Walking Dead. Hopefully they'll call me one day and say, you know, you did good in that commercial, we want you on. So I have Covenant where I play a zombie survivor, and then I have the commercial where I am a zombie, so. Acting is like my number one thing. Like I want to be the actor. I want to make it like my full-time job. I want to, you know, show up on set, get paid, go home. I do a lot of work. Horror is not the only genre I do. I'm interested in comedy, like action, drama. You know, I went to acting school, you know, to train all different genres, all different characters. I'm always available to work. Every day I'm looking for jobs, looking for acting roles to be a part of. I have a Facebook page. You know, I have my personal page, and I have a like page that's where I keep it very professional. I keep all I post my work, my upcoming events, and you can find a lot of my projects, music videos I was in, short films, trailers of movies that are coming out on YouTube, Vimeo. I'm all over the internet. You can Google me, a lot of articles will pop up. You know, I'm Randy Memoli. Acting is my number one. You know, I just want to make it a career, just do the best I can. I went to school for it. It's the craft, it's the art, it's what I love to do, and I'm all about it. Back in January, I had a premiere for this new film I was in called Tiger Lily. It was filmed in New Jersey and New York. It's a political thriller. Right now, it's in the festival circuit right now. We're looking for distribution, so hopefully it'll be out soon. I was actually very proud of the character that I am playing. I'm playing the henchman to the lead villain in the film. And when the director casted me in the film, I didn't make it to the audition because I was filming a commercial. But then he called me a couple weeks later, and he wanted to have like an interview with me and a sit down and a talk. And he offered me this role where I play. He offered me this role where I was going to be the henchman to the lead villain, and I was very proud because I was like, I always wanted to be a James Bond villain. And I was telling him how like License to Kill is one of my favorite James Bond, and I love Benicio del Toro's character in it. And then he looks at me and he's like, you know what? The part I'm giving you is basically an idea I got from a James Bond villain. And it just worked out perfectly. It was so much fun doing it. I play a villain. I'm a badass in it. It should be coming out soon. Like I said, we're going to be having a lot of premieres. So I have that, and then I have a few projects in pre-production right now. I got a film probably coming out We're gonna start filming in the summer. It's called Jester. It's based on a graphic novel. I think it's a horror film. I was sent the script. I haven't looked at it yet, but I hear it's great. I have another film that it's in post-production, and we should be having screenings soon. It's called Sugar Skull Girls, directed by Christian Grillo. He directed Apocalypse Kiss, and it stars Leslie Easterbrook from Police Academy, Michael Berryman from The Hills Have Eyes, and it's a family-friendly film, and I play a pumpkin soldier, so there's a lot of CGI on me, and I'm very proud of this role too, because I was able to wear another costume and be something different, so that should be coming out soon. Like I said, I just have a few other projects coming. You know, people are sending me scripts, so everything's in pre-production. And then I have another film that's been in the works for a couple years now called Beautiful Ink. And the writer actually sent me an email, a text message the other day saying that Michael Madsen has landed a role in the film. So I'm very excited for that. It's called Beautiful Ink. It's going to be filmed in the Jersey Shore. It's a gritty drama based on tattoos, hardcore music, punk rock, drugs. Very violent movie. So I'm looking forward to see what character I'll be playing in that. So hopefully it'll be filming soon. Other than that, I'm just doing what I can, you know? Like, I'm just doing what I can. This is what I love to do.
In a world where zombies just want a little respect. A family gets together for dinner.
Dude, you're dead.
Do you guys still, do it?
Yeah, Don. Isn't that necrophilia?
Why is that thing still in my house? Hey, bring it up.
Stop calling them rotters. They're undead Americans.
Well, I am the King of Horror, Andy G. I am the co-host of Talking Terror Presents on blogtalkradio.com/Talking Terror Presents. Me and my co-host, the Ghoul of Geek Keith, we interview people every week on our show. We also discuss movies of the Grindhouse era, of the modern era. Recently we had Rebecca McKendry on of Fangoria magazine, as well as Killer POV. Excellent guest, had a lot to offer in regards to Grindhouse and to exploitation films and video nasties. Great guest to bring these independent directors who have made it big, and even ones that haven't quite yet but deserve to be, like Tom Ryan and Brad Cronzo and Ryan Scott Weber. Bring them on our show, interview them, discuss their films, and hopefully get some spotlight on them and get them noticed, because these are the guys that are making it happen. That's what our show is all about. I've done a lot with Ryan Scott Weber recently. I've done Zombies Incorporated Season 2, which will be available at Monster Mania coming up next month in Cherry Hill. Also in April at the Chiller Theater Convention. That's going to be going on. There's going to be a big premiere for Zombies Incorporated Season 2. I've also worked on Pretty Fine Things with Ryan Scott Weber, which is his next feature to come out following Zombies Incorporated. Joe Parascand's last major film feature, who, if you don't know who Joe Parascand is, please go on IMDb and search him out. Fantastic actor in his own right. I've also worked with a fantastic director in his own right, Brad Cronzo, who is working on Case of Midnight right now. Characters in that film. It's a feature that I have a lot of faith in and that I'm really looking forward to having come out and discussing with him once he comes on air, because it seems like it's going to be the next big thing. Not a horror film. I know we do a lot of horror features, but this is going to be an action set piece. So I'm really looking forward to having that film come out and discussing with him. I'm also working a lot with Chris Eilenstein, who is known for The Soulless. He's still putting that in the production, so I'm a zombie in that one. Doing some features with him as far as being a regular actor in that film. Also, in his new feature, Shadows of the Forest, I'm going to play a hunter opposite my cohort, the Ghoul of Geek Keith. We're going to play hunters together in the forest in some sort of capacity. I know I'm very excited about that one because I'll be able to act with Edward X. Young, who, if you don't know who that is, he's a Grindhouse extraordinaire, makeup effects artist, producer, all that good stuff. He's fantastic in his own right, and I can't wait to act opposite Edward. He's somebody I've looked forward to for many years, and I'm looking forward to that opportunity. A lot of good things coming up, not just for the show, but for myself, which is what I'm looking forward to. I want to get into the acting mold more often with different features. I know that you and me hopefully will work together soon, hopefully in the summertime, on some projects. That's what I'm looking forward to. Any opportunity I get to work with friends and to make a viable film that I think everybody's going to enjoy is what I'm looking forward to most.
My name is Frank Walker. Life has never been easy for me. I have no job, no friends, no girlfriend. But then everything changed when I met Charlie.
Do you like independent horror films? Do you like great food? Do you like booze? Do you like pretty girls? I'm sure you do. And if you do, come out to Cafe Z in Union, New Jersey on Saturday for Grindhouse Nights at Cafe Z. Full day of independent horror films, meet and greet with cast and crew, photos with the Grindhouse girls, great booze, great food, and an amazing Italian restaurant. Be there and support independent horror.